Hello, darlings. Imagine an island, a tiny jewel adrift in the shimmering Gulf of Guinea, where the very air hangs heavy with the scent of chocolate. This isn't a fantasy from a storybook, it's the beautiful reality of São Tomé and Príncipe. I've arrived on these enchanting shores, a place often whispered about as the Chocolate Isles. And what a fitting name it is. The entire history of this place seems to be wrapped up in the glossy, dark allure of the cacao bean. It's a land where nature has been almost extravagantly generous, painting the landscape in the most vivid shades of green and blue. The warmth isn't just in the climate, my dears, it radiates from the smiles of everyone you meet. They call their way of life Lev Lev, which translates to slowly, slowly. I'm here to follow that story, from the humble pod growing in the shade of the rainforest to the decadent handcrafted bars that are a true taste of this island's soul. It's simply extraordinary to think that this small volcanic land was once the world's largest producer of cacao. The legacy of that golden age is everywhere. The moment you step outside here, you are simply enveloped by green. It's a green so deep and vibrant it almost hums with life. The island is a tapestry of rainforests cascading down volcanic slopes, close canopy, a world beneath the trees, cacao plantations woven into the emerald blanket, shade-grown cacao under taller trees. And then there is the blue. Oh, the blue. String of postcard-worthy beaches, pale gold sands, leaning coconut palms, turquoise water, sapphire water, tiny iridescent fish in the shallows, Pico Cao Grande, the Great Dog Peak, volcanic plug jutting like a stone needle, peak shrouded in mist, rising over 600 meters, where green and blue meet, the interplay of fertile land and endless sea, paradise in two parts, a symphony of land and water, and it is utterly, completely bewitching. To understand São Tomé's chocolate, you must first understand its rocas. These are the once grand agricultural estates, the heart of the island's colonial past. Roca Agua Ize, a sprawling estate once a powerhouse of cacao and coffee. Today it stands as a hauntingly beautiful relic. The plantation owner's faded mansion, weathered by humidity, crumbling hospital wings with vegetation growing through windows, rusting tracks of the old railway that once carried beans to the port, empty corridors and echoing rooms. Cacao arrived in the early 1800s, brought by the Portuguese from Brazil. Volcanic soil and humid climate, ideal for cacao. By the early 1900s, São Tomé and Príncipe became the world's leading cacao producer. The Chocolate Isles. Wealth flowed, and landowners built magnificent rocas, mansions, chapels, sprawling support buildings, all built around one small brown bean. But there was a dark side. Labor came from other colonies. Conditions were often little better than slavery. After independence in 1975, the plantations were nationalized and many fell into disrepair. Yet change began quietly. Now they stand as reminders and beacons, reclaiming cacao heritage with pride and sustainable ethical practices. The journey of São Tomé chocolate begins in the deep shade of the rainforest, where the cacao tree, Theobroma cacao, the food of the gods, thrives. I was utterly captivated watching a farmer named João gently harvest the pods. You can't just pull them off, you must cut them carefully with a machete. The pods themselves are beautiful, coming in a rainbow of colors, vibrant yellow, deep purple, fiery orange, rich red. João sliced open a pod with a deft flick of his wrist, revealing a treasure trove of beans nestled in a sweet, white, fleshy pulp. I was encouraged to try it, and it was a revelation. The pulp tastes nothing like chocolate. It's a burst of sweet and tangy flavor, a bit like lychee or a zesty citrus fruit. The beans are then scooped out and placed in wooden boxes, covered with banana leaves to ferment. This is a crucial step, lasting for about a week. After fermentation, the beans are spread out on vast wooden trays or bamboo mats to dry under the gentle tropical sun. The final steps of the transformation are roasting, cracking, and grinding. The dried beans are roasted, which is where the deep, iconic chocolate flavor truly blossoms. To witness this entire chain, from a colorful pod on a tree to a finished bar, is to gain a profound appreciation for the craft and care in every single bite. The true heart of São Tomé's chocolate industry isn't found in a factory, but in the lush fields and with the people who tend to the cacao trees. I had the immense pleasure of spending a morning with Elena, a farmer whose family has been working this land for generations. Her hands, though weathered, moved with a gentle certainty as she inspected the leaves of her trees. "The cacao is like a part of our family," she told me. "These small-scale farmers are the guardians of the island's most precious resource. Many of them are part of cooperatives that promote organic practices and fair trade practices. By working together, these farmers can share knowledge, improve the quality of their cacao, and gain direct access to international markets. It's a model that is transforming lives and communities across the island, ensuring they can cultivate their crops in harmony with the surrounding rainforest. I also met Claudio Corallo, a man who is something of a legend in the world of chocolate, an Italian engineer who fell in love with São Tomé. His philosophy is one of absolute purity. He insists on using only 2 ingredients in his darkest bars: cacao, sugar, no vanilla, no lecithin, no additives. Tasting his chocolate is an experience unlike any other. It's a complex explosion of flavors: fruity, earthy, spicy, floral notes that dance on your tongue. The Central Market in São Tomé City is a fabulous assault on the senses, and I mean that in the best possible way. It's a vibrant, bustling hub of daily life, a riot of color, sound, smell, piles of fiery red chilies, strange and wonderful-looking fruits I've never seen before. Women in brightly patterned fabrics skillfully fillet glistening silver fish, their knives a blur of motion. Tucked away in a corner of the market, I found a stall selling rustic, hand-rolled balls of pure cacao. These aren't polished fancy bars. This is chocolate in its most traditional form. The vendor, a lovely lady with a radiant smile, explained that local families use these to make a hot chocolate drink, especially for breakfast. They simply grate the ball into hot water and add a little sugar. It's thick, slightly gritty, and intensely flavorful, a powerful, fortifying start to the day. Of course, one cannot come to the chocolate aisles without indulging in a proper tasting. At Roca São João dos Angolares, hosted by chef João Carlos Silva, we tasted chocolate in many forms: single origin bars, bonbons filled with passion fruit, bonbons filled with pineapple. Each piece was a tiny work of art. The ultimate tasting experience was with Claudio Corallo himself. He guides you through his creations like a master sommelier, proving that the simplest things, when done with absolute perfection, are often the most profound. There is so much more to São Tomé than its delicious chocolate. The culture here is a vibrant tapestry woven from African roots and Portuguese colonial influences. You hear it in the music, African rhythms, Portuguese melodies. You see it in the architecture, the language, but the defining characteristic is undoubtedly leve. It's a philosophy of taking life slowly, savoring the moment, not worrying about tomorrow. The islands are also a haven for some truly unique wildlife, a miniature Galapagos in the Gulf of Guinea. Because of their isolation, many species found here exist nowhere else on Earth. Birdwatchers are an absolute paradise. São Tomé grosbeak, giant sunbird, close up in Obo Natural Park. My guide pointed out tiny endemic frogs no bigger than a thumbnail. It's a reminder that this island is a precious and fragile ecosystem that deserves our protection. The people of São Tomé and Príncipe are, without a doubt, the island's greatest treasure. There is a genuine warmth and openness that is incredibly touching. Children run up, not to ask for anything, just to say hola, practicing their English, faces beaming with curiosity and delight. One of my favorite experiences was stumbling upon a chiloli performance in a small village. This traditional street theater dates back to the 16th century, performed with a uniquely African sensibility. When you travel to a place as special as São Tomé, you become part of its story. And here, your visit can make a tangible, positive difference. The growth of responsible tourism is providing a vital alternative to an economy once solely dependent on agriculture. By choosing to stay in locally owned guest houses, like the wonderfully restored Rocas, your money helps to maintain these historic buildings, creating jobs. Buying chocolate here is more than just picking up a delicious souvenir. It's an act of support for a fairer, more sustainable industry. Purchase from a local cooperative. You ensure farmers receive a fair living wage. They can continue organic, forest-friendly farming. That helps protect the island's incredible biodiversity. A virtuous cycle. Your purchase supports people and the pristine environment. Exploring the island's natural wonders with a local guide is another wonderful way to contribute. Hiring a guide provides valuable employment for people with deep local knowledge. This creates a powerful incentive for conservation. When the local community sees that protecting forests, beaches, and wildlife brings economic benefits, they become passionate guardians. By coming here, by listening to the stories, by tasting the chocolate, by spending your money thoughtfully, you leave not just with chocolate, but with the wonderful feeling that you have connected with a place and its people in a truly positive way. As my time on this enchanting island draws to a close, I find myself reflecting on the incredible sweetness I found here. It's a sweetness that goes far beyond the exquisite chocolate I've tasted, though my goodness, that was certainly a highlight. It's the sweetness of the air, thick with the perfume of tropical flowers and damp earth. It's the sweetness of the people, whose smiles are as warm and radiant as the equatorial sun. This journey has been a feast for all the senses. Emerald rainforest tumbling to meet sapphire ocean, the dramatic silhouette of Pico Cao Grande against a misty sky, the tangy cacao pulp, fresh from the pod, a 100% chocolate bar melting on my tongue, the cheerful chaos of the central market, the gentle rhythm of waves on golden sand. São Tomé imprints itself on your memory. I came to discover the story of chocolate and found something far richer and more complex, a tale of a bitter past and a sweet future. Resilience. People reclaiming their crop with quality, fairness, harmony. Leaving São Tomé feels like saying goodbye to a dear friend. You leave a little piece of your heart behind, but take so much with you. As I fly away, the lingering sweetness promises I shall return. What an absolutely marvelous adventure it has been.